Hi, it's April. It's a wonderful afternoon. It's 1:11 right now and it's 19 degrees out where I live. I have been trudging through the snow and talking to people who haven't been outside in days, and they are completely clueless as to how frigid and ridiculous the weather has been, and it's so beautiful to see. Anyway, I wanted to talk a few minutes about how being able to communicate and hear God's voice changes your experience as a person on a day-to-day basis. In the Christian world, and probably in a lot of other genres too, people have a lot of voices they're hearing. Nothing spooky like ghosts or anything, but other human beings have a lot to say a lot of the time. There's usually friends, family, leaders at your church or wherever you go having input into your life and maybe insight too. Wisdom, teachings, advice, all kinds of things, right? So, what do you listen to and who do you listen to? If different voices are conflicting with each other, who do you listen to? This is why it's so important to have a relationship with the God you serve and being able to hear from Him directly whenever possible. I understand that we need advisors too, because the heart is deceitfully wicked. We can't just trust our own heart on everything. We need to hear from other people sometimes too. But at certain key points, if we don't hear from God and have direction on which way to go, we could easily detour, waste a lot of time, be distracted by what other people desire for us, which usually will, of course, serve them, right? So I think that clears up discrepancies about the right path to take for each year, which is important as 2023 arrives, to know which path you should take. When I hear one thing from God, but something else from someone else outside of myself, I, of course, know which direction I'm going to take. I'm going to take the one that God sent me on. In the past, that has caused some conflict with people who wanted to control the direction of my life and wanted me to do things that would benefit them. And I think that what happened was, as long as I cared more about what people think than what God thinks, I was always off track, facing the wrong direction, standing in the wrong position, going the wrong places, talking to the wrong people. And once I started just submitting to God's voice and ignoring anything that was contrary to what He was telling me, then my path became straight. Then I walked the straight and narrow path. Then whatever I did ended up working out, even if it didn't seem to be working out at the time. Then I could release and let go of things, people, places that weren't turning out the way I would have liked. I am not beholden to any one set of circumstances. I am beholden to the directions that God gave to me. And what I have received in return for the obedience is peace. Peace regardless of what people are doing around me. Peace regardless of what the situation appears to be. Peace. And that is so very priceless. I think that the reason I need to say this is so that everyone knows that there is a voice of God that you can hear for yourself. And I also want to say that I have been in situations and around people where many of us can hear from God at the same time. Now, what happens when that happens is a beautiful synchronicity. Everyone is behaving and speaking and acting in a way that's congruent to each other because we're all hearing from the same spirit. We are all in agreement and we are all working toward or doing things that complement what each other is doing and saying. And it is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my whole life. And I suddenly, when I saw it, I understood what God wanted for all of us to be hearing from Him and operating in synchronicity according to His divine will, perfect will. And I pray that the Lord God grant everyone who's willing to accept His Spirit in their home, in worship centers, that same feeling of peace and synchronicity. May the Lord grant His children His will in our lives. Okay, that was about all I had to say right now. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.